guys, it's TBGP, and today it is finally time. Finally time to talk about InZOI, that is. I've been promising this video for like 100 years and I have not got around to do it, but I'm here now, guys. I'm around to do it now. Around to do what, you may ask? Actually review the early access to InZOI so far. This game came out in March, and yeah, I could have been like everyone else and released a video in March, but no, I did not do that. I waited so that I can actually play it enough to, you know, get an actual opinion on it instead of other people playing it for like, what, 3 hours and then me like, oh, I don't like this, or oh, I love this game. You played it for like how long, bro? Calm down. Calm down. That's all I gotta say. Calm down. Besides that, it has at least one update so far as I'm recording it, and it's about to get a newer update that I'm too excited for my own good. But with that much said, let's actually get on to the video. Like I said, InZOI released in March, and I 100% believe by the end of the year it's going to be basically a different game. So, with that much said, I'm reviewing and talking about it from March to the beginning of August. Not anything further than that, so I just want to make that clear. I'd also want to make clear that my opinion on this game may make people mad, but I don't care. So with all those thingamajigs cleared, let's get on to talking. So first, let's talk about Al. Wait, huh? Oh, that's AI. Oh. Alright, let's talk about AI. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you right here and now. I'm not gonna act like I have any authority or anything on there. I would just like to say I don't know enough about AI to even really be the main person to tell you Jack Diddley Squad. I'm gonna link some articles about why AI is bad and all of the ethical issues with AI, but like, I'm not the biggest on that. And I don't mean all AI, I specifically mean generative AI. So why am I talking about this? InZOI has a form of generative AI in the game. It has normal AI, like, you know, AI to actually make the freaking game work, and then it has generative AI, which generative AI is where the problem comes in. My overall opinion on AI is that I don't like AI. AI is trash, it's garbage, it's stupid, it steals stuff from creators of all types, and it's genuinely just ugly. Like, art-wise, it's just ugly. Everything looks exactly the same, and like, why do I want to look at that? And why are your fingers like that? Ew, what the freak? I don't like AI, but I'm not gonna be the person who's going to instantly be like, AI, it means it's bad. Everything with AI and it means it's bad. I feel like there can be uses for AI, which I'll get to the actual good example of a use of AI compared to like the bad examples of we just want to not pay people, so we're not gonna hire artists, which I'll get into that as well in a second. First, I want to say my belief of why I believe generative AI is even in this game. Besides the fact that it's so-called a neat novelty, also money. People who like AI tend to gravitate towards anything with AI, and businesses that want to support AI tend to gravitate to anything that says AI in it, especially generative AI. And they are working with NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is one of the largest pushers of AI and generative AI in general. So, you know, of course, they're going to get a lump sum of money for promoting AI in their game. I'm not saying this is either good or bad, I just think it's kind of stupid. The AI that I have for now is generative AI of like generating patterns or pictures or whatever, and then they have the other form of AIs that they have in the game, like, oh, put a dance video in there and then it can turn it into an actual like animation of the Zoi dancing, or, you know, posing, something like that. That's what they currently have. I think that that's actually a very neat idea, and I think that that makes sense to use some sort of AI for. This is stuff that makes sense and things that you would actually like to see AI used for, not something that's harmful, but something that's actually there to help the players, especially be creative. Like the dance move things, I see people use it all the time and I'm like, dang bro, I think that actually is really neat. So, you know, go for it. I like that. And the posting, I'm gonna be honest, now it does not work properly. I have put pictures in there of course, like they said, use a clear picture of a pose, blah blah blah, and like it just doesn't work. I'll put an example here. I'm gonna like use a T-pose and try to put it in there, and for some reason it just comes out wrong. I don't know what's going on here. It just looks weird. I think the dancing one looks like it comes out better, but it has to like detect the dancing. So hey, I see people who got it working. I do not know how to get it working, but hey, let's go, buddy, let's go. Well, then we have the 3D printer, which I'm gonna say is the best use of AI in the actual game. The 3D printer is what you would literally want in a video game. I'm not gonna lie to you. In a creative game, this is exactly what you want. That you could take a picture of something and then turn it 3D. I think that this makes the most sense for some sort of generating AI in the game. I do not care who tries to argue against me being like, all AI is bad. No, this is actually an example of what generative AI should look like in a video game. That you're able to port stuff into the game with the AI. I think that this makes the most sense for something like AI to work. Like like I said, I'm not an advocate for all AI to just instantly die because once again, everything is actually fueled by AI. Your computer or phone that you're viewing on would not be made if we don't have some sort of AI. I just don't like the concept of companies trying to use AI to replace people. I hate that trash, okay? That trash is garbage, dumb trash. I hate it. And all these companies genuinely need to suffer for it. But in the case of like 2D object to 3D object, this makes a lot of sense for AI. Once again, I'm not taking it for AI. I'm just talking about the systems in the game. I do not care about AI enough to even bat an eye. I do not really use it within the game. I just think that the 2D to 3D object thing is very cool. Also, like I said before, their generative AI is genuinely dog trash. Like the picturing one, I believe I've said this in like my first InZOI create a character video. Like, dude, it's trash. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you try to generate a star pattern, it don't even work. So like, it's garbage and you can completely avoid using it. And I also know, yes, there's like some AI art that's actually in the game. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I think that's stupid too. I just don't use it. It's that simple. I can avoid it as much as possible. You know how much AI art is currently on the internet and things that you may like or look at that is possibly AI art? It's really freaking bad out here, dude. I also come to the conclusion, like, not everyone thinks about AI the same way as other people. So, like, the people at this company may not think of AI as that bad compared to, like, what other people do. And I'm not saying AI is good or bad. Like I said, it can have its use, it can have its purpose. But using it to replace actual humans is crazy work. And from what I at least seen and what I researched, the InZOI team has not replaced humans with any sort of AI. They just put it in the game, okay, guys? And to them, everyone be like, oh, they should be able to just have people draw the patterns and such and blah, blah, blah. Like, I get that, but at the same time, I get why they would use a generative AI / upload your own pattern thing, because in the end, you're never gonna get every single pattern that you want. So it's probably better if you can either upload it yourself, which is the best tool in the game, thank you very much, or generate it with AI. I personally don't believe in generative AI, but you know, I feel like these make sense technically. Either way, their AI is kind of trashy. They're supposed to add AI build mode. We'll see what kind of monstrosity they use for that. But overall, I don't care for the AI. I avoid it at like all costs. The only one that I genuinely think is cool is 2D to 3D. Since we're done with the AI spiel, let's go talk about Kaz, Create-a-Zoi. So I made an entire video talking about the Create-a-Zoi thing from the original like demo that they had, and I would like to express that all of my points still stand and are 100% valid still for the release version of this game. Well, the early access release version of this game. I still have like the same issues with it, especially the body types, the clothing, all of that kind of stuff. The only new ones that are part of this, so this is going to be a very short section, I believe that they did add some more pull and drag features. They did make the bodies a little bit bigger, if I'm correct. I don't really think it's much bigger, but like you can actually make the thighs bigger and stuff like that. It's not as extreme as it should be, but I'll get to that in a second. The clothes, they're not as clippy as it was before. Also, they have the length system that I remember them showing off now. So, certain hairs you can make shorter or longer. They also fixed the categories for stuff like the bags on the eyes and stuff like that. They now have their own category now. It's called facial characteristics or something like that. So you can go through that and mess with the stuff there. You can also have face paint / tattoos now. So yeah, they can give you like neck tattoos and stuff like that. They have beauty marks, freckles, and all that good stuff. I think all of that is fine, but I'm gonna go into what I actually hate about the created character system real quickly, because you know it ain't me if they ain't a little bit of negativity. I still hate the bodies. Like, hands down, I still hate the bodies. I genuinely want to fight whoever decided that this was a good idea. Some people say it's because of metahuman. Like, my brother messes with that. I gotta ask him if that's the reason why it's freaking jacked up. But I believe their character body creator part is jacked up. It's genuinely like messed up, bro. I hate it. I genuinely do. I think it's one of the worst systems I've ever seen, and they genuinely need to fix it. I'm not gonna sit here and say The Sims is any better, because like their biggest bodies are about the same thing from The Sims 4. Like, biggest body in The Sims 4, biggest body in InZOI. There's not too much of a difference. And if I'm correct, Paralyze is gonna be very similar. And look, I'm not saying that, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, I believe we do need bigger people in games. I do not care what other people say that, oh, that's unhealthy. I don't freaking care. It's real life, bro. People are just fat. It's that simple. And I'm one of them. Like, bro, shut up. Let me make fat people, dude. And in the case of InZOI, we need more extremes. I need to be able to make the hips bigger, the stomach bigger, because the stomach is still kind of flat. You need to pull it up. Also, what is with this body shape? Look at them from the side. Dude, what is going on here? Because look at the men too. Homie, why are they shaped like that, bro? What the Like, they do need to fix this. This is one thing that they need to fix, and I will stay adamant on the fact that I hate the way it looks, and they need to freaking fix it. I do not care if this sounds like I'm being too cruel, but no, it's something that genuinely needs to be fixed before the full release of this game. And part of me literally wants to join the InZOI creator network thing just so that I can be in one of those freaking creator meetings so I can express that they need to fix the freaking body shapes, and that's one of their main goddamn priorities that they need to do. Besides that, they just need to also add some more drag things to the face. I still believe that they need to add presets. I know you can do it. Add nose presets, lips presets, eye presets. Do it instead of facial presets. I don't really understand why they haven't done that yet, but that is like one of the main things that need to be done. Add presets. Add different noses, lips, eyes, jaw, chin, everything. Add different things in here. I don't know why you haven't, but that is something you literally need to do. It promotes diversity in face and it just looks better in general. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Like I said before, most of my stuff still stands. Related to the body is the clothes. I hate the way the clothes sit on your body, and I want to actually fight whoever at the InZOI team thought this was a good idea. I don't know if y'all just jacked up the bones because, you know, I do convert CC and I was saying the same thing for every single game, but like, I don't know if y'all jacked up your bones or something, but why does the clothes sit like that on the bodies? Like when the skirt is on a fat body, it looks like this, and I hate it so much. I legitimately want to fight whoever decided to do this. Also, I don't know what's going on with the weird cleavage thing. Yes, I get this is a 13+ game. Like, it's for 13-year-olds essentially. But why does the shirts get like that on the cleavage? I do not like that, and I think you need to freaking change that garbage. That looks really freaking bad. Also, another thing that they need to do is update the skin so that if you're wearing something that doesn't have a back on it, that the weird gray lines will go away. I don't like that. I think that looks genuinely terrible, and y'all need to stop. Also, low-rise clothing. I complained about it last time, but stop that. Like, that's disgusting. How dare you? Make some high-waisted stuff too. I do not like low-rise things at all. I think it looks terrible, which is another reason why it looks so bad on the fat bodies, dude. Stop this. Like, literally overhaul it. That junk is criminal. Like I said beforehand, my entire video on the creator sim still freaking counts. So if you want to hear a better, more in-depth, calmer version of that, go ahead and look at that video. But overall, character creation system is really nice, but at the same time, it needs a lot of goddamn fixing, okay? Let's move on to build mode. Okay, build mode is not something I experience too much. I think the building is mostly fine. I've seen some people make amazing things in build mode, and it takes some getting used to. A lot of people are like, it sucks, it's not this or that. Like, it's a learning curve. You're gonna have to learn it because every game's gonna have a different variation of build mode. I'm just used to The Sims 3, so yeah, my opinions are questionable as it is. I feel like you can do a lot in it, and there's a lot of neat stuff in there. I cannot wait for them to have like a move objects cheat and a shrinking, scaling, and like moving things up and down thing. I know that they said they're going to add it soon, but yeah, I'd like that. I'd like that a lot actually. But overall, I have not built much. I just download stuff off of Canvas because I'm lazy and I don't feel like building half the time. I overall think it's quite nice. I think we need some more wall patterns and, you know, wallpaper, all that kind of stuff. I know some more stuff like that's going to come as it goes, but you know, I prefer that kind of stuff. We need more rock or plain colored walls. We need some baseboards, okay? Give me baseboards. I don't know who told you guys that you shouldn't have baseboards, and I know it's mainly based off like Asian stuff, and I don't know how much they have baseboards over there, but give me some baseboards. I of course think that they need more furniture and all that kind of stuff, but that comes with updates, so I'm not even gonna harken on them that much. Overall, I think what we need for build mode is a little bit more an easier way of doing it. They add the WASD keys that you can move around the camera now, which does make things 100% easier, but I believe there needs to be some more easy things. Like, I also believe move objects needs to be basically a thing. So hopefully they'll get around to fixing it, but overall the build mode is just fine. I don't think it's the worst thing on this planet, and I don't think it's the best thing on this planet. Some people may disagree. I don't really care. I think it's fine. It works. It does its purpose. I just think it needs more. All right, let's talk about overall customization in the game. So you can customize the city and add stuff in the city. It doesn't really do too much. You can just kind of like change decorations, add whatever different kind of animals. I like the crocodile feature. I think that's very funny. But overall, like, that's all you can do with the city. You can customize the billboards, which I have not figured out what size the billboards are. If you know, please tell me. I want to put my own Zois on the billboard, okay? And you can like change the flowers on the bushes and all that kind of stuff for the city, and I think that's fine enough. I don't think it's the biggest deal or the greatest thing. I also learned that you can build buildings, like properties. I just feel like they didn't promote that, and I did not know that. So hey guys, you can make your own park and stuff like that and customize your city a little bit more. Do I believe the city needs to be more open and more customizable? Absolutely, and I think that that's something that they can work towards. I have heard that before. They said that they would like to add more stuff to the city, like open up more lots and open up more buildings. I'm excited to see if they're actually able to do that, or if like the more towns and worlds that they add to the game, that they're just gonna have it more and more open instead, which, you know, that could work. I'm not gonna say it can't. It could work like that. But overall, you know, I think that that kind of customization is okay. Build mode customization, like I said, this game is extremely customizable when it comes to like color wheel, all that kind of stuff. It has all of it. It has everything in between, dude. Y'all will be fine with colors and customizing things with patterns, especially because you can upload them yourself. Overall, I think the customization in this game is actually pretty freaking dandy, especially when you compare it to something like The Sims 4, which customization is dog trash, and I don't care what anyone wants to say to me, okay? Like, fight me and you will lose. I don't care. It's bad. The Sims 4 one is terrible, and the InZOI one is much better in the case of color wheel. Does it have anything on The Sims 3? No, I will be honest with you. Nothing has anything on The Sims 3 if it comes to me. But overall, I think their customization is actually pretty good in InZOI. Like, I would give it an A. Not an A plus yet, but an A. Like, customizable wise, yeah, an A. Especially for a game that looks like this. Alright, let's have a smaller section for graphics. I think the graphics hold up pretty well. When you actually turn the game on, like originally, it looked kind of shoddy. But like after a certain update where they fixed the lighting, I think the game looks fantabulous. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the way it looks, and I actually think sometimes the Zois look a little better in-game than they do in the creator character. You get a lot of people saying that it looks uncanny, or the animations are smooth. First, those animations are smooth like butter. Y'all better take back what you were saying. Yes, are they kind of repeating? But like, that's most animations. I don't want to hear it. Most animations are repeating animations, and that's okay. Most movements in real life are repeating animations, and I don't want to hear anything other than that. But they're smooth. I think that they need to fix the facial expressions a little bit more, but that's like an easy fix. They could just make it more emotional and impactful, which they said they are currently working on as well. And also, I just think the game looks nice. Not gonna lie, the lighting's good. I like the textures and all that kind of stuff. Of course, we're gonna have rendering issues and all that kind of stuff because it is an early access, but overall, I think the game looks pretty good. And of course, graphically, it's amazing because it's supposed to be. That's like one of their main pulling points, is that it looks really good. I also think it looks way less uncanny in game. Like I said before, I just think it looks better in game than it does in the creator character. All right, let's talk about gameplay. So in the most basic form and the most basic answer I can give you is it's kind of just like The Sims. Like overall, the gameplay is nearly identical to that of The Sims. They have a need system. They have a want system. You have to make sure you keep your Zoe alive. You have to go to work and work. You can talk to people, have relationships, all of that good jazz. Overall, it's very similar to that of The Sims. So anyone who has complaints about it, then just complain about The Sims thing. I'm sorry. It just has like a little less content in the base game of a Sims game. At the same time, it also has more content than the base game of a Sims game. So in the ending, like, it's just kind of The Sims. I'm sorry to anyone who thought I was gonna be like, oh, it's nothing. It's genuinely a lot like The Sims. But do I believe comparisons are warranted in that case? No, I don't. For one reason, InZOI has been around for what, like 4 months, while The Sims has been around for 25 years. The Sims obviously has the upper hand in experience and overall crafting their like perfect life simulator game, while InZOI is trying their hardest to get their footing in and, you know, get it working, which I'm very, very happy about. So overall, I think the gameplay is just The Sims and it works fine. I don't have many issues with it. I also haven't seen that many bugs and glitches for me. I know there's bugs and glitches, obviously there always will be, but like at the same time, I don't see that many for me. I haven't had any game breaking bugs. The only bug I currently have is that I cannot turn on the mods page, which is annoying, but it's fine. And here are parts of the gameplay that I don't like. I do not like going to work every day. I genuinely hate that garbage, but I will salute them because they did add something that I love genuinely with my whole heart. I love this garbage. They have a skip button, okay? You can skip to when they come home from work, which is the most amazing, innovative thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Why does The Sims not have this, okay? Like, literally take notes. This is a beautiful system here. I wish that it was in the game when it first came out, but during the update, that made it 10 times better. I love this, okay? I genuinely love this garbage. I love skipping work, all right? That's so fun. But active careers is not my favorite thing. I don't like them in The Sims, so I'm not gonna like them in InZOI. I can see how people like them, and I can see why people don't like. In InZOI, a lot of it is repeated tasks over and over again, which that makes sense because it was the same thing in The Sims. Have you ever played the freaking architecture career? Don't do that. Oh my gosh, I want to actually fight someone. I hate these, but I get why they have it. I just wish that there was an option, and I hope that they add the option that I can skip doing work and they just do well at work, or like just use a meter and just be like, hey, do good today at work or do bad today at work. Something like that, please and thank you, okay? I think that the careers so far are mostly fine. I just feel like we need more careers. Obviously, I genuinely believe we always need more careers. And also, please put a singer as a career in Bliss Bay as well. I don't know why Idol is only to that, and I cannot wait until script mods come out so that I can just unlock all of them for everyone. I think that y'all need to fix that. Personally, me, that's my opinion. But add more careers and unlock careers for everyone. Like, I can do any career that I want in any place that I live. Okay, thanks. Okay, I think they need to update family gameplay as well as romantic gameplay. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, I think the romance so far is pretty nice, but I believe we need more romantic interaction interactions, more like neat ones. Like The Sims, I think we need like a makeout option, dance together option, all the sweet, cute things that you could do, as well as like maybe cuddling on the couch. Dude, thanks. Also cuddling on the bed. I want my Zois to cuddle together when they're sleeping in the same bed. Thanks. That's what I want. Yes, you can update this along the line because The Sims 4 didn't even have it for years. So overall, you can update it along the line, but just don't take 10 years like The Sims 4. All right. What they've added to the game so far, I see so much potential for this gameplay to be like actually wild, especially when it comes to the next update that they're gonna have in August, which is the free DLC, as well as the other stuff, which I'm just gonna have to go on a tangent about the DLC later. But overall, it looks like they are shaping it up to be a very, very interesting and different life simulator game. Also, gameplay and features wise, they already have seasons in the base game, which is already a salute for me. I've died of hypothermia already, and I see a lot of people say their Zois have been dying of heat stroke, which I love that death comes easy to those who wait. But so bad. But overall, I think that it works pretty fine. I've had quite a few Zois die on me, like random strangers, so the death system obviously works. So does pregnancy and stuff like that. That also works. And I also don't see many hungry Zois around anymore, so maybe, you know, they're doing their thing. Smart Zoi. I'm gonna talk about this for a second. At first, I didn't use Smart Zoi a lot because it like kind of lagged, and I was like, I don't really want to use this. It doesn't lag as bad as it used to when like I first downloaded the game. It's a bit better now. It's still laggy, but like not so bad. Like it's only when you go to certain areas where it's like really laggy. But I've learned that I actually freaking love Smart Zoi. Actually, Smart Zoi's, I'm sorry, it's kind of good. Maybe you can count this in the part of the AI that isn't the worst thing, and this is. I actually enjoy this a lot. Yes, I'm not a fan of AI, as I've stated multiple times, but this right here is fun as heck. Like, all you have to do is type something in there, and then, you know, you get the little inner thought message. Are all of them, like, generated almost exactly the same? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, they are, and it definitely needs improvement. But I also think that it's really funny, and you can get some really good answers out of here. Like, throughout me playing in the save that's going all throughout this video, so you'll see Smart Zoi all throughout this video, essentially, I made it so that I changed up the little prompt or whatever every single time. Like, something new happened, like, oh, he started talking to the girl that's in this Chloe, and I was like, okay, Chloe, he's been talking to her, okay. And as their relationship progressed, I changed stuff like, oh, he might be falling in love, or oh, she might be falling in love with him, and all that kind of stuff. And I would get specific things for that, and I love it, instantly love it. Like, I don't know what's gonna be on here of the footage at the moment, because, well, I was recording this and recording footage at the same time, so we'll see what I choose for this, but you'll see all the things that I have on there and stuff, and it's actually really neat. Like I said, I genuinely think that this is a neat feature, and quite interesting. It's like taking the bios from The Sims and then adding it in a way that's actually useful. I think this is interesting. Like I said, I ain't a fan of generative AI, but this is a way to use it that actually benefits the player in a way. Drivable cars. Yes, actually, this is all I was promised and all that I love. Thank you. I love the drivable cars. I do not care what anyone else wants to say. I love them. Love them. I think they're great, actually. The fact that I could turn on and drive my car is very fun. And the fact that, you know, you could drive it, but I do think that we need more parking places so that we can actually see our car parked and find our car. Like, I get why it despawns after you get out of the car and it goes back to your house. It does so because we all know that people will be leaving their cars all around town and have to be searching all over creation, which is why they should have a tag for it so you can find out where you last parked your car. I think that could work perfectly, and I hope that they do so. But overall, I like the driving. The driving, it lags a little bit because, you know, it's experimental, but overall, I think it's very fun. Like, I'll be driving down the street and it's the funnest thing on this planet. Also, when you hit people with cars, it looks like this, and yes, I think this is very funny, as well as getting in the car accidents, even though we stopped the car and argued on the side of the road for too long. I need road rage and violence in this. Like, I want people to start throwing hands. I don't think I'm gonna get such a thing, but that would be very fun, that, you know, you get the car, you actually start throwing hands. Thank you for that. I also think that we should have damage on the cars. I think that would work very fine, in my personal opinion. If the cars get genuinely beat up, damaged for when you crash too much, I think that would work out just fine. Also, you should get arrested for running people over. Please put that system in the game. I think it would work out just fine. I also think we should be mugged. I think that you should be able to be pickpocketed. I think that that's a fun system, and especially if you add a in-depth police career, that works very well, that you have to chase down pickpockets. I think that that's a very interesting thing to do. As well as please update the criminal career. Make it more. I'm begging you. Overall, I'm completely fine with the gameplay. I can see the potential in this, and I literally cannot wait for updates every time. I want to see what they're going to do with the gameplay, because like I said, right now, it's really just The Sims. It's like the most basic version of The Sims, and they are slowly updating it to make it their own, and I'm very, very interested. So keep it up, guys. All right, let me talk about the DLC real quickly, because I just want to make a few things clear. I also don't want to make 80 videos on InZOI that are just me talking, okay? So let's talk about the DLC. So I see a lot of people complaining about the fact that it has DLC, which I'm just like, if you bought the game, why are you complaining? You read the roadmap. They already said that they're going to release a DLC. But they also said as long as you buy the early access, all of these DLC is going to be free. And from it looks with the new DLC that they're about to have, it looks like it's going to be free to everyone regardless. And it's possible that it was made a DLC because that means that you cannot have it in your game if you don't want it. Which, you know, I guess that's fine. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want it, but, you know, there are people who don't like certain things and don't want it in their game. So in the case of this, people may not want this world or whatever in their game. So you could just not download it. All right, okay, that makes sense. Also, DLC-wise, I don't trust this company with DLC anyway. I heard Crafton is really bad at microtransactions and stuff, so I was expecting this in the first place. So if they have 100 DLCs, I literally just will not buy them. It's that simple. I may buy one every now and again, but I most likely will not be buying any DLC for this game if they're not free or reasonable. That's straight up it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the practice of DLC, and I don't get why early access is a DLC, even though part of me thinks that this was not supposed to originally be a DLC and was going to release with the game, like, overall. But I'll get to that in literally a second. Overall, I am not a fan of DLC, and I don't really think that they should have made it a DLC. They should have just called it an update, called it a day instead of making it a DLC. But it looks like they already had all of this marketing stuff that they have for it. Like, they have so much marketing stuff related to it that's most likely why it's a DLC. Not to mention the overall drum up a hype for the game, which, you know, fine and all. I'm just not a fan of DLC. All right, let me talk about early access for a quick second. Am I going to hit all the points that I want here? Probably not. I have an entire early access video planned because I want to talk about the overall early access of InZOI and Paralives. Even though Paralives isn't out yet, I feel like there's some mirroring going on, and I got to talk about that. But I'm just going to go off the basis of what I need to say here for now, all right? So this game's in early access, right? It's been in early access since March, and I don't know when it's going to be out of early access. All I know is that it looks like so far they have 2 years of updates planned. I don't know when it's going to be fully released, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. This game has also only been in development for 2 years. It apparently started early development in early 2023. So obviously there is a reason why this game is very empty, and some people don't seem to understand the concept of early access. And look, I'm not being like all the other people who are like, you just don't understand the concept of early access. No, I literally mean it, and it's very confusing to me. I'm gonna get more in depth into that later, but early access is meant for the players to give feedback to the developers so that the game as a full release is better than what it was released in early access. That's the entire point. Like, look at Baldur's Gate. That's a prime example of it. A lot of people literally said that game was dog trash when it was in early access, but it came out and now it's Game of the Year. Am I trying to say InZOI is going to be Game of the Year or something like that? Heck no! I'm just saying that give the developers a chance. It's been like, what, 4 to 5 months since the game released, and y'all are already acting like this game has like burnt down your village or something like that. That is the worst life simulator and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, y'all are overreacting, dude. Do you not remember the state that The Sims 4 came out of and how many things were missing? That game, believe it or not, was 100% early access when it released for $60. Also $70. I was it $80? I don't remember. For the deluxe edition. So like overall, dude, this game isn't in the worst state. They are slowly adding stuff, and with the new update, I heard they're gonna add a lot of stuff because I am recording this a day before it's uploaded. So, you know, I have an insight or two. This video is a mosh podge, okay? Just know that. But overall, they have a lot of stuff that they're adding into it. I'm not going to go into the update too much, but you can already see that they are doing what they can, and it looks like so far they are very much listening to all the feedback. So, you know, I think that that's a great thing, and they currently are trying. So, I would like people to, instead of being like, it's trash, it's garbage, soulless AI game, to actually give the game a chance. The reason why it's so bare bones is because it's only been in development for 2 years, and then I personally personally believe Krafton forced them to release the game. I've said it before, I think Krafton forced them to release this game early so that they can, you know, strike the iron while it's hot and go and have a life simulator game before like Paralives came out. So that's what I personally believe. I don't know if it's true. I also believe they may have forced the game to have AI because NVIDIA is sponsoring it, but that's also my opinion too. I don't know if any of that's true. I'm just saying that's what I think. I think the game was at 100% forced. I feel like this game would have probably released in early access next year and not this year if they were given the opportunity, because like not a lot of the stuff is properly finished. But that's my opinion. I just hope people can just calm down with the early access and acting like this game is a full release, because it's weird behavior. Also, a lot of people don't seem to get that. A lot of games have been in early access before or released in bad states and got better, and people basically erased their past. Like The Sims 4, ironically, even though I would never erase The Sims 4 past, I was scorned. And then you have stuff like Cyberpunk. The game was bricking people's consoles, but now it's playable. No Man's Sky, that's an example. And even the early access for Baldur's Gate, since that is one of the most recent, like really successful games in early access. And I'm sure InZOI will continue to improve and become an actual full-fledged game. It has amazing roots and fun foundation. I can say fundamentals, I guess that too. But I feel like it's gonna get to the point where it should, and the team seems passionate. They're always asking for feedback and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I believe. It's gonna get better. I will address one more issue that I constantly see, and I just want to hit a little bit on there. People saying that they're asking for too much feedback and have no direction. I think that is the weirdest take I've ever heard in my entire life. Early access is supposed to get feedback so that it can get into the game. And remember, they kind of just take what's the most common point of feedback and work on that first before addressing all the other issues. Like currently they said that they're working on more interactions and more things to do together, like group activities and multitasking. So I think they're okay, guys, and I don't think the feedback means they have no direction. I think the feedback just means that they're like, hey, I see that you guys didn't like this. Let's see what we can do about it. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm done. I finally made this video. It took forever. By the time this comes out, the InZOI update should be coming out like what, in a couple of days after, like 5 or so days after, and I'm here for it. If you guys don't see me for a while, then you know I'm probably playing InZOI. Maybe I will be making Gemma go on vacation, or I'll be making a current household of some sort. So definitely stay tuned for that. And overall, my opinion on this game is that solid, pretty solid. I'm waiting to see how they continue to go with this game, and then, you know, we got it, guys. We might just have another life simulator in the genre. I don't believe in the term Sims killer, because you guys are questionable with that. I don't think 25 years has nothing on these freshly new-faced games, alright? No one's gonna hate The Sims. That's all I gotta say. And The Sims is probably not going to die as long as EA can keep pumping out bad expansion packs. So I would just not say that. But overall, I think this is a good contender to be in the life simulator genre, and I'm very excited to see what they do next. Just like Paralives. Ooh, baby, am I excited for Paralives. I like that height slider. But for InZOI, I'm pretty good on it. Do I think this game needs improvement? Yes. Look at all the sections I said in this game, and you can see all of the things I need improvement on. Like I said, this game is nowhere near perfect, especially the freaking creator character. I will fight to the ends of the earth on that one. But overall, I am quite excited to see what they do next, and I will continue to play InZOI even if no one else does. I see it dipped on like YouTube, like not many people play it anymore. I don't care. I'm gonna keep playing it. And the same will go for all the other life simulator games. Even if people decide to stop playing them, I'm gonna keep going, because I said I would play them anyway, and I actually genuinely enjoy life simulator games. So, you know, there we go, buddy. So yeah, I'm finally finished with this here video. I will not be talking about this game in the extent of this video like this until like December again, or January, something like that. So yeah, see you guys then, I guess. And yeah, go ahead, look at my other videos, vote on my poll too if you want to. And yeah, that's about it. Just know, frick AI, all my homies hate AI. And thank you guys so much for watching. This is TBGP. I hope you enjoyed this here video. Leave your comments with your own opinions or whatever you may have. I will most likely read them late, but I'll read them. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is TBGP. I will see you lot next time, and bye.